Hi everybody, Karis here at the Mary Godfrey Playhouse on Friday, May 11th. We have a Friday performance tonight. And I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight about theater as an art form and about what else it is. From the perspective of someone sitting in those seats, you can talk all you want about theater as an art form, as a form of entertainment, as a creative medium. Fine. That's all well and good, and it's all true. But as soon as you get here, or even more importantly, once you're back here and involved in the process of putting on a show, it's a whole different ballgame. It's no longer about describing theater in kind of esoteric, artsy-fartsy terms of, creativity and, even though that's all true, once you're involved in putting on a show, it's work and it's a job, and you've got a job to do. A big part of being involved in theater is inspiring confidence, because every single person that you work with in the process of putting on a show is part of your team, and it's extremely important that you get them to feel confident that you're going to do your part and you're not going to let them down, and that the team can count on you, and that the team doesn't have to worry about you, because everyone else involved in a show is putting everything they've got into it, and you don't want to be the person who lets them down. You don't want to be the weak link in the team that breaks the image of what we're trying to do. Telling a story is a complicated thing. All these people out here don't care about what's going on backstage. They came here to see a show. They came here to watch a story unfold. And, if a show is going well, you're casting a spell. You're being successful. You're drawing people in. You've got them interested. You've got them invested in what's going on with the characters on stage. That spell is easy to break. All it takes is one person on that team not paying attention to their job or not caring enough about their job that they jeopardize the work of the entire team, and they allow that mask to fall, and they allow that spell to be broken, so that all these people out here, instead of being interested in the story or enraptured in the story, odd word, but instead of being as invested in the story as they have been, once that spell is broken, they become aware of the fact that, oh yeah, we're watching a show, and these are actors, and everything's fake. You break that spell, you've lost them, and then you have to win them back, and maybe you can and maybe you can't. But the fact of the matter is, the real point that I'm getting to is that if you're involved in putting on a play, you don't get to talk about it being, in the esoteric terms of it being an art form or an entertainment medium. It is, more than anything else, a discipline. And the discipline is everybody involved in any kind of a stage production has to be disciplined. You're required. You're absolutely, out of necessity, you have to be disciplined enough to be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And a little tough love for you here. If you're not capable of doing that, then you don't belong here. Then the theater is not for you. Because we all have private lives, we all have personal lives, we've all got difficulties in our lives. But if the difficulty that you're having in your life is so overwhelming to you that you can't focus on your responsibilities, and you are willing to jeopardize all of the efforts of everyone on the team because you can't keep your personal shit together, this is not the place for you. I hate to say it. That's tough love. You have to be able to let everything go, be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, doing what you're supposed to be doing. I remember when I was in high school reading a Rolling Stone interview with Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson was talking, about what it's like being an actor, And he says one of the things that you have to accept as an actor is, you could be on location filming a movie in India, and if some tragedy falls upon your family while you are in India filming this movie, you're kind of stuck. Because if you leave the movie shoot to go and take care of family business or personal business or whatever, you're costing the production company millions of dollars. And you're costing everybody all of their time and effort. And the point that he was making is that if you're in India when you lose someone in your family and you're in the middle of a film shoot, it's kind of tough luck. Everyone's counting on you to be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, I can testify that this happened to me personally. This poster on the wall here is for a show called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Ironically, Jack Nicholson connection. I was in a production of this a few years ago, and about a week before we opened, my mother passed away. And, there's never a convenient time for something like that to happen. But I felt a responsibility to my team to make sure that they felt confident that I was not going to let them down. And that in spite of the fact that I would have to be gone for much of that, the week before we opened, those last rehearsals before we opened, I wanted them to have confidence in me that I was not going to disappoint them. Fortunately, I had worked hard enough in the rehearsals up until that point that I really pretty much had what I was doing. It was just, if anyone, I didn't want anyone to worry about me. When I came back, I wanted the team to know that they didn't have to worry about me, that I knew what I was supposed to do and I was going to go out there and do it. And I did. I'm not saying it was easy, but I'm saying that's what theater is. And I'm not telling this story as a way of trying to build myself up or make it sound like I did something heroic. No, that is theater. Theater is about the discipline. And the discipline is you have the ability to be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's it. If you can't do that, you aren't worth jack shit to theater. That's tough love, but that's the tough truth.